Hello. I am a typical American public school teacher.
Nice to meet you. I represent the government and American society in general. I would like to know what you are doing to promote 21st century learning.
Well, I do a lot to promote 21st century skills and learning.
Great. Would you like another smartboard?
I don't own a smartboard and I don't know how to use one either. But I would like to have one. Would you provide training for me?
Of course. We will provide you with up to 3 hours of training along with 12 other people who also have no idea about how to use a smartboard. Of course it will be on your own time.
I think I might need more training than that.
So, you don't want the smartboard. What else can I get for you in order to improve your test scores?
You mean improve student learning? Right. And I never said I didn't want the smartboard. It's just...
Do you want the smartboard or not? Make up your mind.
Well, yes, I want it. But what I really need is some flexibility in what I teach.
I hear you. We are willing to provide up to 3 hours worth of flexibility training.
I am not sure what that is. I was thinking more like the flexibility to teach fewer topics more in depth so my students could really understand them. I would like to spend more time on problem solving, collaboration and discussion.
Which will lead to higher test scores, right?
Well, maybe. But I was more concerned with my students' ability to work together to solve complex problems. Instead of telling them what to do for a test, I really want to guide them through their own natural process of attacking a problem. I want them to discover their own ways of approaching and solving problems. The problems they will need to solve in the new century do not have a textbook. And there are no answers to them yet.
I fail to see what this has to do with the test. You know, if they don't do well on the test, then we can fire you. We can fire the whole school. We can burn it up and neck it down if we want to, just to send a message. Rhode Island was just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay. I do understand that. But don't you think we owe our students something better than a standardized test? Something more genuine. Maybe we need to look at a completely new way of assessing students and teachers. Maybe these tests are not the best way to judge our education system.
Right. I hear you. We need to rename the tests. Like instead of calling them end-of-course tests, we should call them summative battery assessment measurement instruments. It would make a cool acronym.
That's not what I meant at all. I was trying to get across the point that...
Do you want something else? What can I give you a grant for? Do you want calculators and projectors and computers?
That would be nice. But I would rather have time to construct better lessons with my colleagues. I would rather have access to high-quality workshops and be provided time to integrate what I learn into my classroom. I would rather find out what is working in this country and other countries. Maybe even talk to a teacher in another country.
Okay. We can get you some more computers and provide up to 3 hours of training with them.
You are not listening. Instead of computers, could we get a change in the curriculum? Could we get some accountability from parents and students? Can we make education a true community effort?
No. Now look. If you want our funding, then you will take the computers, projectors, calculators and 3 hours of training. Stop being so difficult and use this stuff to get as many kids to pass the test as you can.
But what about student initiative? What about creativity and innovation? What about complex problem solving? What about metacognition? What about collaboration? What about the real 21st century challenges they will face? None of that is measured by a 3-hour multiple-choice test.
Do you want the stuff or not?
No.
You're fired.
Well, now that I am unemployed, I can truthfully tell you that if we don't change what we are doing in education on an essential level, then we are in deep trouble. We need to admit that money and resources are not the ultimate fix. We need to admit that other countries are outdoing us because they have some better ideas about teaching and learning. We need to realize that attracting and keeping highly qualified teachers is very difficult in light of reduced budgets and better salaries in the private sector. As a country, we need to understand that the threat to our economic and political status in the world these days is just as real and maybe more grim than the threat of wars in the past. We need to recognize education not as a cure-all, but as the vehicle through which we can prosper once again.
You are fired. Fired.